Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, powered by AC Designs.
We're seeing some flooding along parts of the First Coast.
Yeah, those are pretty heavy rains. Now, fortunately for most of us, the big rains came late on Sunday, but if you're out and about Sunday evening or last night, it was a big deal, and indeed we had some big rains. Now, some of the rains were beneficial for those of you west and northwest of Jacksonville, out toward the Okefenokee and the Suwannee, where you've been on the edge of drought conditions, but the rains that hit especially south of Duval, they weren't really needed, at least numerically, and that's where the heaviest rains fell. In fact, if you want to check out where the absolute heaviest rain totals late Sunday through Monday morning were Putnam, southern St. Johns, and then Flagler County. In fact, some of those thunderstorms late last night were approaching severe levels. So a little bit of flooding going on. When I say a little bit, it's not affecting many people, but if you have land out there, you farm out there, we're talking about specifically southwest St. Johns County for areas west and northwest of Spuds and Armstrong. Because of the heavy rains, because the St. Johns River is still relatively high, it is out of its banks, causing some lowland flooding. So we're primarily talking about farmland flooding. I think after tonight's high tide, which in this part of the St. Johns will be after midnight, after that, it should get back in its banks. But nonetheless, Deep Creek is going to be pretty high for at least the next couple of days. So we could use some drier air, and drier air is on the way. In fact, clearing skies on the way, but those clearing skies are coming in on the heels of colder air. Check it out. By tomorrow morning, western Duval down to 38 degrees, officially looking for 39 and even 44 degrees along the river and the beaches, but everywhere, because we're going to have wind, it's going to feel just as cold. So whereas this morning, we still had wet roads around, but temperatures were in the 60s. Tomorrow morning, as we head to work and school, it's going to feel like the 30s out there. Now notice we're not talking about a freeze, but certainly feeling much colder than it felt over the last several mornings. St. Augustine, 43. For those of you west and southwest of Duval, more like about 38 degrees. Also on the islands northeast of Jacksonville. St. Simons de Fernandina, about 43, and up there toward Waycross and Alma, 37 degrees. But then we're going to have bright sunshine tomorrow. Here's a computer model showing the clouds and the few areas of mist settling off to the southeast, and then dry air blows in. But again, it's going to be polar air, so beautiful skies tomorrow, but they will be polar skies. Another sign of the wind, small craft flags will be flapping with winds out of the north at about 20. Those winds will become northeasterly on Tuesday night and then Wednesday. So again, a beautiful day. It's going to help us dry out. It's going to help Deep Creek go down. It won't be as deep, but despite the sunshine and because of the northerly winds, look at this, a high of only 56 degrees. So here's our 7-day outlook. Notice the coldest morning will actually be Wednesday, but we're not going to have a hard freeze. There will simply be some patchy frost for areas out to the northwest, west, and southwest of Duval. Then temperatures moderate back up to near 70 on Thursday and Friday. Another front blows in over the weekend, but again, it should be yet another front without temperatures anywhere near hard freeze conditions.